Hi all, it's producer Izzy reporting to you live. If you notice that the audio sounds a little bit different this week, it's because we ran into some technical difficulties, but we crunched the numbers to make sure you guys get a great episode still. And I promise if you look under your chairs right now, there is crisp and fresh audio for you next week and the week after that and the week after that, so on and so forth. So I hope you enjoyed the episode and smooches.
You guys ready to rock? I'm taking my shoes off.
Ooh, comfy.
For the first time because I'm not even wearing socks, which is crazy.
Ooh.
Letting the dogs breathe. All right, how is everyone?
Great.
I feel like it hasn't been just us in it hasn't been just us in
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
I've missed you guys.
This feels right.
Missed you too.
It feels right.
Well, Brooke, you don't always have to be a star.
I know, but you do if you are going to be in the biggest boy band in the world. I gotten so worked up that I had thrown up on myself in my stroller. In my 14-year-old self, I said, those are hot men. And look at them now. They're like babies. That was kind of just like a casual interest, which I guess maybe a little bit more than casual.
Well, how's it going?
Good.
Great. Yeah.
Living life.
I love it. I do, Izzy. I really do. You just read a book, you were telling me?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about it. I'm so excited.
My first book since 2020.
Whoa.
Yeah, tough. Actually, no, 2021. It was Love in Other Words.
Okay. Is that the one by Christina Lauren?
Hold, please. Yes, it is.
Okay, I think Salydar's reading that now too.
It's really good. It's a fast read.
Okay.
First book on my Kindle too, which was exciting.
Did you just get a Kindle?
No, I got it for my birthday 2 years ago. Never touched it.
Love it.
Until a couple days ago.
Oh my God, Izzy, I'm so excited for this journey.
Yeah, it makes reading so much easier because I can just speed right through it.
Do you think it's inspired you to pick up other books? Are you going to keep this going?
Yes, I think so. I think I need some recommendations.
I'm happy to provide those for you.
Yeah. I want to dabble with Court of Thorn and Some Roses, but I'm a little scared. So I need baby steps.
Izzy, there's nothing to be scared of. I am literally so jealous that you haven't read them. Because it's you have no idea. Not only is A Court of Thorns and Roses in store for you, not only is that series in store for you, but all of her other books are in store for you, as well as a general newfound love of reading that's in store for you, as well as a newfound just love of the fantasy realm that's in store for you.
No, I'm excited. I'll dive in.
And you know what? Take your time, because there's just always going to be something to look forward to.
True.
The longer that you put it off, the more that you'll have that looming over you.
Yeah.
And the more excited
a month
that I am for you.
I'm foaming at the mouth for more.
Oh my God.
For books.
Yeah.
I am the day that you read that, you're sitting in this chair.
Yes. Okay. I'm on it.
Kenny, anything new with you?
Books wise, I'm reading Zadie Smith's White Teeth it was written in 2000.
Oh, Kenny, that's a big kid book.
I try to challenge myself with big kid books.
That's good.
And it's a heavy book because it's about immigrants and Britain, but you can also relate a lot to our situation here in the U.S.
Totally.
It's I'm only 100 pages in, but I'm a very slow reader anyway, so I might only have that book this year, and then that might be it for me.
And Kenny, that's enough.
Yeah, one book.
Do you like reading?
I love reading. I just I'm hooked on my phone all the time, and I feel like if I were to supplant that time that I have on my phone to read, I feel like I'd read way more books.
I know. I've been saying this on BNC a lot, but the way that I can't put my phone down is feeling more and more like a chemical addiction than it ever has. It's I'm actively thinking put your phone down now.
Yeah.
And I literally can't.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I'll be at home and I'll just be refreshing. And I'm like, what am I refreshing right now? I've already gotten all the information I'm going to get today.
It doesn't even feel good.
No, it doesn't.
I literally am in active agony scrolling and I'm someone take it away.
Yeah.
And I can't. And even though, even when I'm reading and I love reading, I'll still stop mid-page and be let's see what's going on my phone that I just checked 5 minutes ago. It's really scaring me and I don't know how to stop it.
It's bad. I took my phone in the shower the other day by accident, but it was just because I was mindlessly scrolling.
Well, I've gotten myself into a pickle because I got this suction cup thing to put on the back of my phone because I don't have a tripod and I needed to record an ad of me getting ready. So obviously the only thing I could do was order this and stick it on my like mirror. And now I can stick it on the shower door.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's over.
Like game over.
Do you do that thing where you keep one hand or one finger dry so you can like refresh?
Yes,
or, like,
Kenny. Like it's so bad.
Oh no.
And I thought my Kindle would help in the sense that it's like technically a piece of machinery that I'd be touching, but it's not.
Not the same.
Ugh. Well, you know, we live and we learn, and it's really the best that we can do.
That's all that matters.
Okay, just some little housekeeping updates. It's now been two or 3 weeks since I haven't had any like pressing tier 1 celebrity crushes. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good about it. I feel like I've been freed a little bit. And that's not to say I don't have celebrity crushes. No one right now is making me feel sick, which is great. And I think that's because I've moved on to just fictional men in my books. And I don't know if that's better or worse than the real men. What's better? Real men that I don't know or fake men that I do know?
Whoa.
Fake men.
Fake men that I do know. They could literally not hurt me if they tried.
Yeah, absolutely. They can't get girlfriends because it's all in here.
And you know what? They're already all in relationships, and I love and respect those relationships.
Mhm. Outside your realm.
So I'm shifting and I'm growing, which is awesome. Okay. Something that's been stressing me out recently and causing me to lose a little bit of sleep is that we have recorded so many episodes, so many good episodes, but a lot of them have been recorded in advance. So no one knows where I am in my reading progress. Because one day I'll be like, oh, I'm on like the 6th ACOTAR book or 5th or whatever. And then the next day I'm like, oh, I'm on 4th wing. And then the next episode I'm back in ACOTAR. Like that makes no sense. And that's because a lot of these episodes have been recorded in advance and then also out of order. So right now it's the present day. Okay, today is March 7th. This episode is going to come out next week. We record a week in advance. And so we are going to get up to date on my reading progress. We're going to go back in time and go through all of the books that I've read since I got back into reading in October. And we're going to look at my Goodreads. Okay? Now let me talk a little bit about Goodreads. Goodreads is the first thing that I look at every morning and the last thing that I look at before I go to bed. No one uses Goodreads. I have about 3 friends on there. It's the worst app in the world. It's probably the first app that was ever made, and it hasn't been updated since. I could not possibly tear myself away from it if my life depended on it. That's something that I'm constantly refreshing, knowing nothing's going to happen because no one's on it. But I am so addicted to it. It's like a vice and a problem. But I've had Goodreads since 2013, which, if I do say so myself, is ahead of its time. So, disclaimer, I encourage you to go look at my Goodreads if you want. That being said, times have changed. Okay, some books that I loved and rated highly that I'm not willing to go back and change those ratings because that's truly how I felt at the time have not aged perfectly. And that's okay. You know, we all like things in the moment that have changed over time. It happens. It's a part of the human experience. And also there was a period of time in 2019 where, and I've told you guys about this before, but I'm just going to repeat it, where I wanted to be a book reviewer. And I was looking at jobs in the book industry while I was teaching, like trying to do that. And also just like reviewing books, hoping that someone would find me and think like, we have to have her doing what? I don't really know, but just like we have to have her in our book space. And so there are some reviews that are about 6-paragraph essays. Specifically my review on The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, even 6-paragraph essay.
Wow.
On that specific book. And I don't have the heart to edit or delete anything that I've rated or reviewed It's a part of me. It's a part of who I was and who I am. And that just is what it is. Okay. So go look at your own risk. I don't want to hear a word about anything that I logged before 2020. And that's all I'm going to say. Oh, I need to tell you something else though. Okay. In addition to Goodreads, there's also this app called Storygraph, which a lot of people are telling me to join. I think it's one of those things, kind of like knitting and crocheting. It's just like whatever you do first is going to just like be easiest for you, because I can't get the hang of Storygraph. I recognize that it's objectively a better app. I tried to get on it. I'm a Goodreads girl. I'm a Goodreads girl at heart. And I also think that they just like made it complicated for the sake of making it complicated. Something that they did do that's awesome is that they let you do half-star ratings. So you can give books like 4.5 stars, which Goodreads doesn't have, which is like just like such a missed opportunity. Like it seems like the easiest edit you could possibly make. I don't know how to make apps, but like surely that's not hard for an app maker. So Storygraph does have that, which I really appreciate. But it just, for whatever reason, it's like there's so many features that they added that I'm like, no. There's so many things that you need to do with a book logging app that you haven't done, and you just did all this like random stuff. Like, I don't care about the longest book I read. Like, anyway, I have decided to make my own reading app. It doesn't make sense to me that we don't have a good reading app when reading is back. Reading is back. Reading is on social media. We've got Book Talk. We've got BookTube. We've got Bookstagram. We've got Bookcast. Okay, we need a good book logging app. And if Goodreads isn't going to get their shit together, and sorry, I'm just like not obsessed with Storygraph, someone's going to have to do it. I thought I was going to be the one to do it. So I've been holding on to this idea of this app that I have, thinking that I'm going to do it. Let's be real, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to reach out to anyone to try and do it for me. So I'm going to tell you the app and hope that one of you takes this seriously and makes the app, because I think we're onto this is $1 million idea. I'm just going to let you know right now. I am giving you $1 million. I am giving you $1 billion. You just have to know what to do with it, because I don't. Okay. The app is a combo of what is now Goodreads and also Letterboxd and also more. So basically what we have here is an easy, user-friendly way to see what your friends are not only reading, but watching, okay? I could not, gun to my head, I wouldn't be able to add a friend on Goodreads. I don't know how to add a friend. Like, they make it like a literal like relay race to figure out how to just comment on something to add a friend. Like, you can't do anything that just like a social media app should have easily available. So make it a social app. Like, you should be able to tag your friends in comments. You should be able to recommend books to your friends. You should be able to send them stuff easily. You should be able to friend them. You should be able to have a For You page. You should be able to have a following page. You should have filters for books and movies and other media that you want to consume. We could also do shows. We could also do podcasts. Let's make it an app for everything that we consume. Okay. This is a consumer-friendly media app. Okay. Here are some other ideas that we could have on the app. We have reading challenges on Goodreads. That's the one good thing about Goodreads. Let's do reading challenges on this app, but let's like make them with your own friend. Like, have a reading challenge against your friend. Have a buddy read with your friend. I don't know what else you could have, but there's so many other things that you could have. Book clubs. Like, it just feels like this is such like a layup, and I don't know why no one's doing it. Do collab posts, okay? Show your friends that you're reading a book or watching a movie or watching a show with your friends. Here's a game you could play on the app, for example. Who would you cast in this book? Do fan casts on the app. You could log music, and that seems to be the end of my note page. But that's what I have for my app. I think it's $1 million idea.
Yeah.
I don't know why it doesn't exist. And I hope that someone does that for me and for the greater good of the world and all of us book girls and guys and theys and thems. I think that is really just like someone's got to do it. Does that make sense? Do you guys have any questions for me about my app?
No, I just wanted to say I love that because I don't like the 5-star system on Goodreads because, like you said, you can't add halves. You look up like Moby Dick and it's got 4 out of 5 stars, and you're like, well, that might not be an accurate rating of one of the considered greatest novels in American literature.
Totally. And there is like such a huge difference between a 4 and a 4.5.
Yeah.
100%.
And a 4.5 and a 5. And no one will ever know. Like I have to specify it in my review. Are you kidding?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually.
Like that's embarrassing. That's child's play.
If I see like 4.5 on Yelp, I'll eat there. But if I see 4, I'm thinking, oh, this food might not
Something's
be great.
going on.
Like the difference is huge right
It's
there.
really huge. Okay.
I feel like Goodreads, like it'll have, if it was a better interface, people would read more, like, and make it like a competition.
Is he 100%? I don't even know if I like to read. I just know that I love blogging books on Goodreads.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I truly like, if you told me like you don't actually like reading, I'd be like, I think you're right. Like, I think I literally am just obsessed with reading and reviewing books.
100%. 100%.
No, that's not true. I love reading. I love creating worlds in my head. I love escaping. I love the fantasy of it all. But I love rating books on Goodreads more. And that's okay. Make it a better app. You know what they do that's like probably the stupidest thing? And if any of you work at Goodreads, I'm sorry. This is not a personal attack on you whatsoever. It's just more so on the app. And I think you even know that. But they do this thing. They have a reading challenge every year where you decide like how many books you want to read this year. And you set that challenge at like, I think it's like January 1st. But in the last few weeks of December, they do this thing where it's like, can you guess what color the logo of the Goodreads reading challenge is going to be? And like, that's what they're spending their time on.
What?
Is like creating this buzz around like what color the logo is going to be.
Do you get anything if you get it right?
No, you literally just like comment like, I think it's going to be purple. Oh, I think it's going to be blue. Oh, maybe it'll be green. Like that's what they're spending their time on.
That sounds like a game for people who can't read.
Kenny, 100%. Like that is, and you know what? Have I commented to guess what color it's going to be? 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. You know why? Because I can't access my friends on Goodreads to talk to because I don't know how to add a friend on Goodreads. So I'm stuck guessing what color this logo is going to be when that's Anyway, I love Goodreads. I really do. Here's my profile. It's just Brooke Averick. Wait. I'm the 39th most followed person.
Whoa.
That cannot. Wait, no, that cannot be it. Most followed people this month in the United States. Colleen Hoover, Kristen Hanna, Stephen King. I'm not on there.
Wait, were you 39 though?
Oh, did I say 39?
There she is.
Oh my God.
She's with the legends.
No.
Brooke.
I'm above Riley Sager, who's just like a very popular thriller author. This can't. I'm about to.
Brooke, this is huge.
Oh my God.
This
You guys
is
know
huge.
I don't get excited about like those, about like followers or those kinds of milestones. I'm about to freak out.
That's so cool.
I'm above Bill Gates.
Yeah. Let's go.
Oh my God. I'm a Goodreads influencer.
She's
That's
made
so
it.
cool.
You made it.
Meanwhile, I just spent 18 minutes bashing the shit out of this app. You guys, that's crazy. That can't be.
Wow.
Oh my God. 82, number 82 best reviewers. You know what? I bet they read my Hunger Games review.
100%.
I bet that's what this is about. Oh my
This
God.
is
I'm about to take
awesome.
this even more seriously than I already do. I should just make the app at the end of the day because it's clear I have what it takes. Clearly, I have what it takes in the book world. Oh my God, guys, I'm like floored by this. I'm sorry. Who's Emma? She's the number one most people love her reviews.
Does she have a username?
Let me follow this woman. She's 26 from Boston, joined in July 2014. No stress, I joined before her. Not a big deal. My name is Emma. Number one thing that you need to know about me is that every time a retelling of Alice in Wonderland is published. Okay, awesome. Very cool. Oh my God. So fun. I didn't even know. I actually think that Goodreads might have been made for your computer browser because it is feeling better in this space. I'm accessing features I didn't know that I had access to.
Yeah, that was super easy to follow.
Yeah, that was
girl.
super easy.
Yeah.
I bet I could figure out how to add friends on here too. But here's the thing, where it's 2024. I'm on my phone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I open my computer once every 3 weeks
Yeah.
Here in the studio.
here in the studio. So all I'm asking is that either someone make this app or someone approach me about it and we can go in on it together. Cause unfortunately, I'm not a go-getter. So I'm not going to be the one to do the reach outs. Oh, I joined in May 2014. Yep. 2 months before Emma. Not who's counting? Not me. Okay. Sorry. I don't know why that photo of me is kind of popping up. That's mortifying. We're going to take a quick break to thank today's sponsor, Apostrophe. Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the amount of choices there are when you're shopping for something? Whether you're looking for cereal or toilet paper, there are so many options, it's hard to know what's best for you. When it comes to finding skincare products that actually work, it's even more overwhelming. My skin's been really dry this winter, and I wanted a new product that would also help my breakouts. But when I went to the mall, there were over 50 products to choose from, and I left feeling more discouraged. Apostrophe's goal is to help you feel confident in your own skin. Whether you're dealing with breakouts, signs of aging, or acne scarring, Apostrophe will help you love the skin you're in. Apostrophe is an online platform that connects you with an expert dermatology team to get customized acne treatment for your unique skin. Simply fill out an online consultation about your skin goals and medical history. Then take a few selfies and a dermatology provider will create a customized treatment plan just for you. Apostrophe offers access to prescription treatments for all types of acne and treats breakouts from head to toe. My current skincare goals are reducing dark spots and improving my skin texture. I love that Apostrophe can cater a plan to treat exactly what I need. We have a special deal for our audience. Get your first visit for only $5 at apostrophe.com/OWB when you use our code OWB. That's a savings of $15. This code is only available to our listeners. To get started, just go to apostrophe.com/OWB, then use our code OWB at sign up, and you'll get your first visit for only $5. Thank you, Apostrophe, for sponsoring this episode. We want to take a break and thank a sponsor of today's episode, ZocDoc. We all know there are things in your life you have to compromise on, like an apartment that's in your budget, but with an upstairs neighbor who plays the drums, or going to the grocery store that's always out of everything just because it's nearby. But when it comes to your health, there's no compromise. Instead, check out ZocDoc, the place where you can find and book doctors who will make you feel comfortable, listen to you, and prioritize your health. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly related in-network doctors near you and instantly book appointments with them online. Once you find the doc you want, you can book them immediately. No more waiting on hold with a receptionist. And these doctors all have verified reviews from actual real patients. We're talking about booking appointments with tens of thousands of top-rated, patient-reviewed, credible doctors and specialists. You can filter specifically for ones who take your insurance, are located near you, and treat basically any condition you're searching for. The typical wait time to see a doctor booked on ZocDoc is just between 24 and 72 hours. That's it. You can even score same-day appointments. I have a really busy schedule, so I love that ZocDoc doesn't waste my time when it comes to booking an appointment. Go to ZocDoc.com/obsessed and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/obsessed. ZocDoc.com/obsessed. But, okay, so a little bit about me and my history with reading. I have always loved to read, but then, school gets in the way and then they basically punish you with reading. And so you no longer want to read for pleasure. I cannot work the computer browser. I take it all back. I can't figure out what to do. Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah. Love to read.
Whoa.
Have always loved to read. Stopped reading in like the middle school, high school area, with the exception of like a few like Hunger Games, Twilight, Harry Potter, etc. But yeah, I feel like school just like really took the joy out of reading. And I still to this day don't understand like why we couldn't read good books. Like there's a lot to learn from books like the Hunger Games and Harry Potter. So I don't know why we weren't reading them. And perhaps if I had stayed in the field of education, things would have been different. But alas, I've moved forward with the book fluencing space. So there's nothing much I can do about that. But I started reading again. Okay, people are going to come for me. And I've made the conscious decision not to care at this moment. But when I was a senior in high school, so I was 17, I read a book that like put reading back on the map for me. And it was a Colleen Hoover book. Okay. Now people have a lot of things to say about Colleen Hoover, but all I can say about her is that she helped me love reading again. And for that, I say thank you. Now, this was way before like It Ends With Us, Verity. You guys know those books?
Mhm.
Those are like her big books.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about those books. Okay. I'm talking about like her third book ever. It's called Hopeless. I don't know why no one talks about it. And I was 17. So is it good? I don't know. It was good for me at the time. It was literally just like reading a Lifetime movie. And it just like came to me at the right time. I couldn't put it down. And after I read that book, I literally was just like, that was so fun. Like reading is fun. And I want to keep doing it. So that's the book that kind of got me back into reading. I would say if you're on the younger side, maybe give that a try. I really think it was like one of the most entertaining books that I have ever read. But then, so started reading again then, decided to become a book fluencer. I did have a book Instagram that I cannot in good conscience give you the handle of, but I also don't have the heart to delete it. But you know, nothing ever happened from that. And now here we are. I had stopped reading like during the whole like TikTok of it all, as well as the knitting of it all, because I can't do two things at once. But now we're back. We came back this year in September 29th is when I started reading this book, Happiness Falls. Okay. This book is by Angie Kim. She's written 2 books. Her first book was Miracle Creek, which is truly, Kenny, I think you'd really like it.
Oh, okay.
Because
yeah.
it's like a little bit of everything. It's like a real like book. There's immigration. There's like family histories, family trauma. It's dramatic. There's race. There's mystery. There's like literally everything. But I think at its core, it's like a mystery with a lot of other stuff going on. But that book was so good. So she came out with her second book, Happiness Falls. So I read that in October. And damn, you guys, it was good. I don't think it was as good as Miracle Creek. Like, I would encourage you all right now to add that book to cart, get it from the library, get it on your Kindle. And then you'll fall in love with Angie Kim, and then you'll want to read this one. And this one was great. And it got me right back on the saddle. So I gave it 5 stars. I see, but I know in my heart that it was a 4.5, but Goodreads wouldn't let me articulate that to you. But I'm telling you right now, it was a 4.5. Her first one, Miracle Creek, was a 5. Okay, then I read The Only One Left. This is by Riley Sager, who is that man that I'm actually above on the most followed people on Goodreads.
And you're going to stay
Not
above.
that it matters.
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually, I'm above Riley. This was my first book that I read by Riley. And he's very, very popular, huge thriller writer. Was this book good? No. Did I enjoy it? Yeah, a little bit. I did. This book had about 18 twists in it, and I love a plot twist. I love a good plot twist. The first plot twist in this book was awesome. If they ended it after the first plot twist, it would have been a good book. Then we got to the second plot twist. Okay, like you didn't need to have the second plot twist, but like I appreciate the layers and the complexities of the story that you've woven. Like, good job. Third plot twist is where he started to lose me. Okay, I was like, it's becoming increasingly unrealistic as we go. Fourth one was like, you have to be kidding me. Like, this is a joke. Fifth one is actually when the book became 2.5 to 3 stars.
Oh my God.
Would I recommend it? Like, honestly, yeah, a little bit. Like, it was fun, and you know, it's a quick read, but it wasn't necessarily good. I don't know why there needed to be that many plot twists, and I don't know. I I don't want to say I would never read one of his books again. Like I could see myself, like, should I get myself into the hot tub, which, is my favorite reading spot. I could see myself with a Riley Sager book. I could, I won't lie. But I'm not like dying to, Okay, guys, here we go. Here is where we have A Court of Thorns and Roses. Now, this is going to be a vulnerable moment for me. I actually started ACOTAR the previous May. Okay, so the first book, Happiness Falls, was October. ACOTAR had started back in May, couldn't get through it. It wasn't bad by any means, but I had never really I have not read fantasy like that. I had read Twilight, but Twilight takes place in this world with just some fantastical elements. Is that a word?
Fantastic.
Okay, fantastical elements.
Yeah.
This is a new world. And so I didn't really know at the time, because I wasn't the expert on fantasy that I am now, that there is a lot of world building that has to happen before you really get to the meat of the story. And that's just not something I understood while reading this first book. So I was just kind of like, let's get this show on the road. And I also think something that I didn't understand at the time is like, you're not supposed to know what's going on, and that's okay. Like I was like not knowing what was going on, and I was getting frustrated. But with fantasy, you kind of have to just like hands up, hands off the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel kind of thing, which is hard for me. And it still is hard for me. But that's something that I was also struggling with. And I think why it took me so long to get into it. But I came back to it after I finished The Only One Left. And I gave it 3 stars. Okay, I gave it 3 stars. I know. Let's read my review, shall we?
Yeah.
I'm like turning red thinking about giving this 3 stars, but
Well, in Brittany's
again,
episode, you were like, I can't get into it. She was like, just wait. And you're like, no, I don't think so.
I know. I literally came on this podcast. I said into the world, I said, I don't like this. And literally, I want to die. I want to curl inward and just melt away. But, our past experiences make us, and whatever. I can't figure out how to access my review. Okay, this is what I said. It was fine. We'll probably read the second one because I'm curious about how who plays into all of this. I'm not at the liberty to tell you who who is right now, Izzy. Okay, that's something that you have to find out on your own. And then edit. I said, after continuing on with the series, I'm changing my rating from 3 to 4 stars for obvious reasons. I would, if I could read this book again, I've never reread a book, and I probably never will, just because it stresses me out how many books there are out there and how many that I have to read before I die, and the fact that I probably won't read them all. So the thought of rereading one is like too much to bear. But if I did ever reread a book, it would be these books. And I think if I reread this one, it would be 5 stars, knowing what I know now about world building and where the series went. But I don't feel like I, in good conscience, can give this 5 stars now because I didn't have a good time reading it, as much as that pains me to say.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if you guys haven't read this, I went into it with a bad attitude. Also, like I wasn't really expecting to like it. And also people say like, this is the worst one, which it like kind of is technically. But if you had said to me, this is good, I would have gone in and been like, this is fine. So I'm telling you right now, this is good. So that you guys go into it with an open mind and an open heart. Because it is good. You just don't know that it's good until it's too late.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm following.
So then after that, I wasn't even like anxious to read the second. I was just like, I'll read some others and then I'll read the second for my fans and my followers because I owe it to them. Okay, so next was this book called My Husband by Maud Ventura. This was actually written in French and then translated, which I was nervous about because I don't think I had ever read a book that was translated, but it was so good. And it actually like, that was part of the plot too. Like she was a translator. So that made it like a really cool, like meta element. This is very much for fans of people that like You, like with Joe Goldberg.
Oh, yeah.
You know that show, Kenny?
Yeah.
That's also a book, and it's a great book, too.
It's a book?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I read the
I
book
didn't know
before
that.
the show came out. Books are better. The first book is better than the first season.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other books aren't great. But this book is very much giving like a woman who is so obsessed, addicted, consumed with her husband that it takes on a menacing, delusional, almost like scary approach. So I personally love it. I love getting out of my unstable head into someone else's unstable head. And you know what? Like, you relate to her too. Like, you can't help it. Just like you can't help but relate to Joe, or at least I can't help but relate to Joe because I'm also sick in the head.
Right.
You can't help but relate to this woman. So this was, I think I gave it 4 stars, but you know what? 4.5 because I'm still thinking about it. Okay? That's a 4.5. Oh my God. Then I read Remarkably Bright Creatures, which is that book about the octopus that I couldn't stop talking about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This was just a 5-star read through and through. It was just, it's one of those like heartwarming stories where you truly love all of the characters like they are a member of your family. The octopus is a character, which is like so unique, which I loved. And I mean, it was just like precious, truly precious, so well written. Like cannot recommend it enough. It's just like a feel good, cozy, like you'll cry, but in a good way kind of book. That would be like another add to cart right now book. Okay. Then we have The Housemaid. Have you guys heard of this one?
Oh, Sophie read this.
Did she like it?
I think she was lukewarm about it.
So this is like a big book talk book. People are obsessed with it. It was entertaining, but I think I've read so many thrillers that like you start to realize that they all follow a pretty basic formula and you get so tired of the formula. And so the good thrillers are the ones that don't follow the formula. And this one did, like pretty much to the T. Like I could personally, not to be like, oh, I could see it coming, but like I could see it coming because I read so many thrillers. So I think like if you don't read a lot of thrillers, maybe you'll like it, but I did not, even though I did read it in one day. So I'm learning about how to like distinguish something that was entertaining versus something that was good. So this was entertaining, but it was not good. And that's my 3-star ratings. Like books that I like was entertained by, but they weren't good books. That's how I thought about The Housemaid. Okay, then that brings us to The Great Believers by Rebecca Mackay. I want to say that's how you pronounce her name. I was so excited about this book because it was about the AIDS epidemic in Chicago. And you guys know that is just a part of the past that really draws me in. And I just like didn't like it. And I was so upset. And there's no reason that I didn't like it. And I feel guilty for not liking it. And it was a good book. And I don't know why I didn't like it. And it still makes me upset that I didn't like it because it has everything that I like about a book. It was a good story, good characters, very sad, taught me about a part of history that I didn't know about, just like didn't hit. And that's okay. Like sometimes you can recognize that something's good, but you didn't like it.
Super healthy.
Thanks, Izzy. And that's another 3. That was a 3-star. So the 3 stars are either books that were good, but I didn't like, or books that were not good, but I was entertained by. Notice how I still have not read the next ACOTAR. How crazy is that?
This is really funny to see.
Like I literally
knowing what's
didn't
about
have
to
any,
happen.
like there was no urgency whatsoever. Okay. Then we've got One True Love by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Did you guys read like 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo?
I love her stuff.
Like she is like one of the greatest authors of this generation, I think.
Yeah, she like rips you out of a rot.
She really does. She will get you out of a reading slump. Kenny, have you read any of her books? Daisy Jones and the Six, Malibu
You should
Rising?
swap me out for my fiance because she's read all these and she can comment.
We've got to get
these.
Sophie on the pod.
Yeah. She really enjoyed Evelyn Hugo.
Great.
Is
like,
that the right name?
That's a book that like
yeah.
is so hyped up, but it is so worth the hype. Like it's not overhyped at all. It is as good as everyone says it is. I love when that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's satisfying, I bet.
It's so satisfying. Also, it's supposed to be a movie or show or something.
Yeah.
With
Hulu?
Camila Cabello.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't really know anything about her.
Is that why
truly.
she's blonde right now?
Oh my God, that's probably why she's blonde right now, Izzy.
Interesting.
All I know is that I did not like Cinderella.
Same.
But that's really all I have to go off of with her. Like, she makes some good music.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go in with an open mind and an open heart.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm gonna do with the Evelyn Hugo show. Also, it's just hard when you love a book so much. Like, I think that the only movies that are as good as the books are like Harry Potter and the Hunger Games, and dare I say Twilight.
Yeah.
Like, I think those are the only kind of books, like those like high action fantasy kind of books make good movies. But I don't know about Miss Evelyn. But open mind and open heart. Oh my God, I cannot believe how many books I kept reading until I found myself.
Yeah, this is crazy.
I'm going to like skim over these because I actually don't even care. Bright Young Woman, didn't really like that. Big Swiss, didn't really like that. Rock, Paper, Scissors, a lot of you hated. I thought it was good, thought it was entertaining. Good thriller, didn't see it coming. Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go. Let's get into it. I was dreading picking up A Court of Mist and Fury. Dreading it. I had actually spoiled the book for myself because I went onto like, you know how all those books have like those wiki fandom pages? So I went to recap the first book. So I'm telling all of you this so you don't do it. I went to recap the first book for myself. And the last sentence of the recap is the spoiler to the next book. So I was like, 1, didn't really want to read it. 2, miserable that it was spoiled. So went into it with a closed heart and a closed mind. This book shattered my mind and my heart right back open. There's not much I can say because I want you guys to go into it so blind. But if you could just look at it as like the first book just being the first chapter for the rest of your life, and this is where the story begins. This is where the story begins. Okay? And like, yes, it's fantasy and that's great, but what's great about these books is the romance, truly. And I think that like why romantasy in general is so popular, because it makes the romance is better when it's like in a different world, because when it's in this world that's constantly like you're going to get attacked by another kingdom, or like your dragon's going to eat you, or like this assassin's going to come kill you. Like the stakes are high, and these people are just like constantly willing to risk their lives for each other day in and day out. And that's what the girls are wanting to read about. The girls are wanting this high fae man to come in and be like, your life is more important than mine. I will kill myself for you. My kingdom will fall for you. And that's what we all want. And that's what we get in romantasy. Okay, then A Court of Wings and Ruin. Perfect. Another perfect book. Really just a continuation of the second book, which makes sense considering it's the next book in the series. But you know, the thing is, like, once I like a series, like once I started to love this book, the second book, anything that came after it, like it's going to be 5 stars for me. Because like once I fall in love with the characters, it's like you could write a book about them going grocery shopping and I'd give it 5 stars just because like I love being with them. And I've already fallen in love with them. Hey guys, we want to take a break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Daily Harvest. When it comes to eating well, it's a total guessing game. Even if something's easy to prep and looks good for me, the label is full of ingredients I'm always trying to avoid. That's why I love Daily Harvest. They say no to gluten, fillers, seed oils, added sugars, and starches. So all I have to do is say yes to delicious, easy to prep smoothies that never leave me wondering what's really in my food. Daily Harvest really takes the guesswork and effort out of cooking, because they deliver delicious smoothies and other options that are built on organic fruits and vegetables straight to my door. What's more LA than a smoothie? I love the pineapple and passion fruit smoothie because it tastes like a mango pina colada. It wasn't too sweet, but still tasted light and fresh. I can't wait to take these smoothies to the beach this summer. And when it comes to variety, Daily Harvest is always keeping it exciting. They have tons of great smoothies and other meal options that look so delicious. I never get bored when it comes to meals and snacks. By using only recyclable or compostable packing when possible, Daily Harvest is doing their part to take care of our earth, which helps me limit my waste and feel good. Take the guessing out of eating well and try Daily Harvest. For a limited time only, go to dailyharvest.com/OWB to get $30 off your first box plus free shipping. That's dailyharvest.com/OWB for $30 off your first box and free shipping. dailyharvest.com/OWB. We're going to take a quick break to thank a sponsor, Nutrafol. Hair thinning is complicated. The problem is, it's actually much bigger than your hair alone. Like your skin, hair is a reflection of your health, and internal factors can impact the way your hair looks, feels, and grows. Nutrafol's whole body approach multi-targets underlying root causes like stress, hormone fluctuations, and nutrient gaps for visibly thicker, stronger hair. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement with over 1 million people seeing thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding. Nutrafol has multiple formulas that are tailored to give your hair what it needs to grow throughout different stages, as well as for different lifestyles, such as plant-based diets. That's one of the reasons I love Nutrafol. Because of their proactive approach that targets your needs, it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Take their hair wellness quiz on Nutrafol.com for a personalized hair health plan based on your specific root causes. With Nutrafol, building a hair growth routine is simple. Purchase online, no prescription required. Free shipping and automated deliveries ensure that you'll never miss a day. See results in 3 to 6 months. Take the first step to visibly thicker, healthier hair. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code OWB. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and hairstylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code OWB. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code OWB. Okay, now my understanding is that the first 3 books of ACOTAR were like the main chunk of the series. Like that's where the main story is. And then she kind of started adding on. So the next book is called A Court of Frost and Starlight, and people call it the holiday special because it's really tiny and it's also like kind of fluffy and nothing happens, which is why I gave it 4 stars, because it really is just like, she didn't give us much. But of course, like that's my family. Like I'm so happy to be with them. I'm so happy to spend the holidays together.
It's a Hallmark movie.
It was a Hallmark movie. And you know, these books are 800 pages. This was like 200 something, just to give, like, it was literally like reading the first few chapters of one of the books. So it really was just like a little teeny tiny taste, which is great. But yeah, definitely like the weakest in the series, but I loved it. Of course, that goes without saying. Then I tried to pace myself and not read the last one, which is technically the 4th, but also kind of the 5th, if you count A Court of Frost and Starlight as the 3rd book or as the 4th book, which people don't. But so I tried to pace myself and I read another book before the last ACOTAR called The Gunkle, which was sweet and fine, but it was about a gay uncle. Yeah. And it was sweet and like, to be honest, like I did not care. Like my heart wasn't in it because I was needing to get back to my family. And here's the thing about my family. This book, the last book that's out, there are still more coming out. Thank God. I don't know what I would do if there weren't. This book is a different POV than the others. So we're dealing with different characters. So I personally am someone who prefers the POV of the other characters. But of course, is this one great? Yes. Are these people still my family? 100%. Did I love it? 100%. But still, I missed my family from A Court of Mist and Fury. Okay. So that's where we are now. With A Court of Thorns and Roses. We will for sure do a whole episode on them where I can kind of get into the spoilers and talk more about it. But yeah, the next one, the 5th book or the 6th book, whatever you want to call it, should be out eventually. I personally can't wait. We have no idea whose POV it's going to be from, what it's going to be about. But you know I'll be at the midnight Barnes & Noble release. And if there's not one, I will make one. Okay? Then we journeyed into Fourth Wing. I think like I don't know if it was a B&C episode that just came out or an Obsessed. I was like, had just started Fourth Wing. I think it was the episode of B&C that came out last week, but was pre-recorded like 2 months in advance. And it's been keeping me up at night because I called Zayden, the main guy, Xander, because I hadn't started the book yet. And I just want to say, like, I'm so sorry I did that. Like, that is so embarrassing. Like, I know Zayden like the back of my hand. I would never call him Xander. Like, I'm mortified. Like, that's Zayden. Like, that's my shadow wielder. But yeah, love Fourth Wing. I do think it was a mistake to read this directly after ACOTAR, because there were a lot of elements of it that were just like ACOTAR fan fiction. And that's not a bad thing. Like, positive connotation, ACOTAR fan fiction, but ACOTAR fan fiction nonetheless. Like, so many of the same tropes and themes and even characters. So I gave it 4 stars because of that. But I think if I had waited a bit and read some other books in between it, then it would have been 5. And then I read the sequel, which people were super disappointed by, Iron Flame, which I had also extremely spoiled for myself. Extreme spoiler, which sucked. Because, like, if I had read this piece of the story without knowing, I would have been, like, so excited, like, floored by it. And that was robbed from me. And that's really upsetting. But it's because I can't get off of my phone. And I refuse to stop scrolling through TikTok even when I know a spoiler's coming. Like, I can feel it in my blood like a superpower, like, oh, a spoiler's coming soon. And I keep going because I can't put my phone down.
Yeah.
So I blame myself. But yeah, that was spoiled for me. But even though it was spoiled for me, I still loved it. And people hate this book.
Really?
So
Damn.
yeah, people really were disappointed by it.
Can
I
I
understand
ask why?
their criticisms. I loved it. What, Kenny?
No, why did people hate it so much?
Because they found the main character to be really annoying, which is true. But, like, I think most characters are annoying a lot of the time. So it didn't really bother me. And, like, she wasn't, like, more annoying than anyone else. She was pretty annoying, honestly. But I think a lot of characters annoy me a lot of the time. And I thought that, like, I couldn't really differentiate, like, her being more annoying than I find other characters being annoying a lot of the time, if that makes sense. But that's because I am somebody who is so easily annoyed and so irritable all the time that I am personally just annoyed by everyone. I didn't think that this was, like, anything crazy.
I see.
But I liked it. I think that if you are hesitant about getting into the fantasy of ACOTAR, I would start with Fourth Wing, because Fourth Wing had more of, like, a Hunger Games-y element almost. Because Fourth Wing is about a rider's college to learn how to ride dragons to prepare yourself for upcoming war while riding said dragons. So we're in the rider's quadrant of the war college in Fourth Wing. And there's a lot of, like, Hunger Games-y type peer challenges and fighting and violence and such. So if you like the Hunger Games, I think you will for sure like Fourth Wing. And if you're hesitant about, like, the high fantasy aspects of ACOTAR, Kenny, you would maybe like Fourth Wing.
I got Sophia Basgiath War College shirt to sleep in. So she ate that book up. She loves it. She must be following you on Goodreads.
That gave me, like, goosebumps.
Really?
That is, like, such a perfect gift.
I found it online. Some third party sold it.
Yeah. Do you think I don't have one coming in the mail? Like, for 1 second, do you think that? Mine will be here in 2 to 3 weeks, okay? I also have my an ACOTAR shirt from Amazon that I sleep in every night, and it's an XL because I wanted it to really feel like it was you-know-who's shirt. But I cannot give you the identity of you-know-who, doo-doo. You need to go and buy.
I'll figure it out.
Okay? Finished Iron Flame, and now I am on the Throne of Glass series. Okay? Throne of Glass is Sarah J. Maas's first series. Okay? She wrote the first few books in Throne of Glass before she wrote ACOTAR, and then eventually they started coming out at the same time. She is Hamilton. She writes like she's running out of time. Okay? She does not stop. I don't know how she does it. She was definitely writing 2 series at the same time. I don't know if she was ever writing all 3 of her series at the same time, but, like, that is crazy to be able to compartmentalize all those characters in your mind and write different stories at the same time. She is, like, a god to me. Like, it sucks that she doesn't have a Sarah J. Maas. Like, she doesn't get to read her own books like we do. Damn, that sucks. At least she's Sarah J. Maas. Like, she's the coolest person in the world. You know, she lives in Philly.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm hoping to run into her.
Bump into her on the
And
street.
she's someone that I could be I don't want to say normal or chill, but I think I could say something and she would get it. And she would appreciate it. Maybe though. Who's to say? Okay, but I started reading Throne of Glass. Is this at all interesting if you like don't care about reading or books?
Yeah, I think
I don't like reading, and I'm having a good time.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people seeing this will probably want to jump back into reading.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Friend me on Goodreads. I won't be able to figure out how to accept, but friend me on Goodreads. Okay, so I'm now doing Throne of Glass. I have finished the first Throne of Glass book. I am now on the second. There is actually a huge debate in the Throne of Glass community about the order in which you are supposed to read these books. Now, do you remember the woman at Barnes & Noble that I thought was one of my closest friends who I wanted to ask to be on the podcast? And it turns out she actually had no idea who I was when I went back.
Mhm.
Kenny, do you know this story?
What? No.
I'm sorry if you guys have heard this 15 times, but that is what it is on this podcast. So I was buying 2 copies. No, library to you. I was buying 1 copy of ACOTAR for my friend. And went to check out Barnes & Noble at the Grove, my favorite place in the world. And the woman was like super, super stoked to see me having ACOTAR. And she was like, this book is going to change your life. And I was like, babe, it already has. Like, I'm getting this for my friend. Like, I am right there with you. I'm in the process of having my life change right now. Because at this point, I was on like the 4th book or something. And so we spent, I'm not joking, 40 minutes talking about these books. It was mostly her talking and her telling me like all of the Sarah J. Maas lore, like how I need to read Throne of Glass, which order I need to read Throne of Glass in, about her other series, Crescent City, about, I did like check out for a little bit while she was talking because she was just really getting into the weeds. She was really getting into the thick of it. But she said for Throne of Glass that I needed to read it, Throne of Glass first, then the second book, then the third book, and then the prequel. So that is like close to the order that she published it in. But a lot of people say that you need to read the prequel that came out after the first few books first. Okay? But that doesn't really make sense to me intuitively, because if she meant it to be read first, then she would have released it first. But there is like a diehard community of people that are like, if you don't read this book first, like you will not understand the entire series. Like it is a huge mistake for you not to read this book first.
Wow.
But the cashier, my good friend, told me that I needed to read it 4th. So obviously you can imagine my head is spinning. I don't know what to do. Okay? Anyway, put a pin in that. So I go back to buy another friend another copy of ACOTAR. I see her working. I'm so excited to see her again and talk to her. And I'm going to ask her to come on Obsessed. Okay? That was in my head, like kind of planning on how I was going to ask her to come on. I get up there with my copy of ACOTAR. She says, oh my God, you are going to love this book.
No.
Swear to God, Kenny had no idea who I was.
She Groundhog Day'd you.
She Groundhog Day'd me. And meanwhile, I'm thinking she's one of my closest friends, closest confidants. And I was about to ask her to come on the pod.
I think this answers the question you had at the beginning of the podcast, which is better, real friends or fictitious friends? I think
fictitious. She broke my heart.
Oh, that is
truly
horrible.
And that Barnes & Noble is like truly my favorite place in the world. I get scared now walking in. I literally am like, I don't want to see her because of what transpired between us.
She says that to every customer. They're not even buying
She says it to
ACOTAR.
every customer. And then also, if you guys are ever around Barnes & Noble Grove, I always, I like to just go and pay my respects to the ACOTAR Sarah J. Maas display and not even buy a book. I like to just go look at it, pay my respects, and leave. But she has written out everything that she told me. She wrote it out on the display. Like there's a note hanging up of her preferred reading order.
Oh.
And I was able to match that to the handwriting of the receipt that she wrote on for me that I still have in my bag to this day. So I was able to match that handwriting, identify it as her. So she's really like, this is her passion. And I truly have nothing but the utmost respect for her, even though we didn't work out. I still I wish her the best, truly.
She's not your forever, but she's someone else's.
She's not my forever person. So that brings me back to the reading order of Throne of Glass. I really truly did not know what to do because this woman, if there's an expert, it was her. Okay. And she's telling me to read it 4th because she kept saying it will have the most emotional impact. That sounded good to me. Like I want that and you have everyone on TikTok fighting about it, a lot of them saying you need to read it first. Then Sarah J. Maas comes out with a new and improved website. On that website, there's an FAQ. Okay? On the FAQ, which order should I read these in? She says, I'm glad you asked. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to read the prequel third. So that is actually not what the Barnes & Noble lady told me or what everyone on TikTok says. And I had no choice but to do exactly what she tells me to do. Okay? So I'm now on the second book and I'm going to read the prequel next. Do I wish I read it first? Absolutely, 100%. Do I know what's going on? Not really. Not really at all. And also, like, I also don't want to go back in time. Like, I'm not really interested. I'm ready to move forward. So I will let you guys know how I feel about this specific reading order of reading it third. But I do think that I should have read it first, which also is not what the Barnes & Noble lady said. It's what most people on TikTok say. So when in doubt, believe everything. Believe everyone on TikTok. Okay, that's where we are now. Okay? So now I'm on the second book, and I'm happy that you guys know where I am currently. By the time this comes out, I will be reading at least the prequel, if not the one after that. So feel free to message me any questions you may have about those. I'm excited to get into it. Okay, I thought that was going to take about 15 minutes.
Let's go.
Oh, here's also a thing about fantasy books in general that I want to say. I love how unrelatable it is because you guys know, like, I love escapism. Like, I love reading to escape from this world. But sometimes when things are relatable, it, like, you know, it triggers you a bit and you're still grounded in reality and you're thinking about your own life compared to what's happening in fiction. But with fantasy books, you can't really do that because, like, it is so in a different world and it's so unrelatable that it is escapism premium plus Spotify premium package. Like, you are just, like, completely in a different world. And I love that. And I do not relate. I think there are some people that would say they relate to a lot of the female protagonists in fantasy books, which is great. I wish I did. I do not relate to them for 1 second. If I find out my kingdom is in danger, I'm getting on the bus to the next kingdom. Like, I'm not fighting for my kingdom. I'm not risking my life. They are constantly risking their lives for people that they don't even know. And it's like, that's like, if you want to do that, if you're brave, and if that makes me a bad person for not doing that, so be it. Like, I'm just, like, not there in my life right now. And they are, and that's fine. And that's a huge difference between us, but I am actually headed out of town. And that's the thing, is they would never abandon their kingdom. I'm gone. I am gone at the first little sign of danger. Okay? So that's all I'll say about that. Okay, 2 more things, and then I'll let you guys let me go. Actually, 3 more things. The first thing is, you guys know I'm on Book Talk, of course. There is an ACOTAR Ball happening in London that I keep coming across. So I'm just going to pull that up for you guys and let you know that I have to go to the ball.
So I did.
So badly. Imagine me at the ball.
Hello, Sarah, darling.
POV, I'm at the ball. I have to go to the ball, not only because, like, I need to be in that world and I want to go to a ball and I want to go to London and I think it would be fun, but I went on the FAQ page, of course, just to glean a little bit more information about the ball itself. And 2 of the FAQ questions, first of all, what if I have no one to go with? I love that energy. Like, good question. Answer. Lots of people come to our events alone. We have a group chat you can join where you can meet other people coming to our events and get to know each other. People even live, share, travel together, and share Airbnbs to bring the cost down. Isn't that so sweet?
Really
and then
nice.
also, what if I have social anxiety? That's another one of the FAQ questions. These are my people. Like,
This is
they're
your
literally
safe
like,
space.
they're panicking. about about their social anxiety and that they have to go alone. And I am too. I don't want to go alone. So I'm going to go with my new friends that I make in this group chat that I'm going to find. We know it can be really tough when you have social anxiety, but you really want to attend one of our events. Yes, 100%. A great way to feel more confident is to get in touch with others who also want to attend. You can do this on our super friendly group chat on Discord. Find me on Discord.
That's so
I'm
sweet.
going to the ball. And you know what? I don't care if I have to go alone. You know why? Because these are my people.
When's the ball?
I couldn't actually figure that out.
Oh, okay.
I think that there's like a few different balls, but if you go to their upcoming events page, there's only the Halflings Midsummer Party
Oh,
on June 29th, 2024, and I don't know what that is. That's not any sort of world that I'm a part of.
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah. I do have a little bit of a hard time with cosplay, I think. And that's something that I want to have an open heart and open mind to. I think I'll have difficulty looking at myself in the mirror with those ears on, and also taking other people seriously that have the ears on. I think that's a challenge I have to overcome, and I want to overcome it. And also seeing the men that aren't the men that I've pictured in my head. That's not right. Okay? These men are fictional for a reason. Like, I think it'll be tricky even like if these become a movie and casting starts, like there's no human man that's going to be able to play what Sarah J. Maas wrote. Like, this movie might need to be an AI. Like, it's just not, this person doesn't exist yet. These people don't exist yet. And so it's tough to see them at the ball. Okay? That's all I'll say. But as we know, I'm working on having an open mind and an open heart. So can start working on that when I prepare for the ball. The last thing I'll leave you with is my favorite thing on TikTok right now is this husband who is reading ACOTAR because his wife loves it, but he's also reading it because he genuinely wants to, because he is genuinely interested in the things that his wife is interested in. Do you mind if I have a stroke like really, really quick?
Yeah, no
He
worries.
is genuinely interested in the things that his wife is interested in because he loves her. Like, that truly brings him happiness to read the things that she's reading because he loves her that much. I love this husband and this wife. I haven't seen her personally. I've only seen her filming the husband, but they are just so sweet. And I think like that's where my bar is now. Like, if a man is not, I don't want to make him read the books that I want to read. Like, I want him to want to read them because he genuinely is interested in what I'm so interested in. And like, he wants to read them because he wants to know like what I'm so excited about. And this guy genuinely is having the time of his life reading ACOTAR. Like, I check this account every single day. I'm not going to play it because there's spoilers. But he is literally having the time of his life with this series. And I couldn't be more thrilled for them and this journey that they're going on. And I just want them to know that like they have inspired me in terms of what I'm looking for in a relationship. I think that is like the ultimate sign of like love, is genuinely wanting to read what your partner is interested in. So that's my new bar. I'll leave you guys with that. Anything else? Any questions? I know we covered a lot today.
No, this is all really nice.
All nice?
I had a great time today.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pumped to go read. Seriously, I think I'm going to put my phone down.
Yeah.
Kenny, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to read on your phone too.
I read like New Yorker articles, but it doesn't feel as momentous as like a book.
I know. No, that was bad advice. Honestly, I was just trying to, I don't know. That was horrible advice. Don't read on your phone. Unless maybe if you put it on Do Not Disturb, but I would just turn it right off.
I feel like every time I put Do Not Disturb on, I check it more because I'm like, surely someone's texted me.
Right. Surely there's an emergency.
Come on.
Surely my parents' house is on fire right now.
Or like people want to talk to me now.
Yeah. Okay. Izzy, any questions from you?
I have one question.
Yes.
Has she been around a while, Sarah J. Maas?
Oh my God. Here's what I didn't tell you. She started writing the first Throne of Glass book when she was 16.
What?
How old is she now?
She's so young. I think
That's
early
scary.
30s.
That's really scary that you have that much power.
She has so much power. Like, this is what freaks me out a little bit. Because, like, I do get to a point where it's like, does it even matter what's going on in reality if you can have such an amazing mind? Like, if I had her mind, I would literally sit in my house and stare at a wall all day.
Yeah.
Because I would just be having the most fun in my head. Well, they don't slay dragons in her books, but I'm shooting mist out of my arms. I'm flying. I'm summoning wolves with the water. Like, I'm doing so much crazy shit and I'm having a ball and I'm not moving. Like, that's crazy. She is, like, I'm just so thankful for her and that she is sharing her talent with the world. I am obsessed with her. And I think she is, like, healing. She's healing every part of me. She's healing every part of me. Like, I owe her a lot. I owe her everything. I owe her my life. I owe her my life.
That was beautiful.
I know I'm going to meet her and start saying that kind of shit. Like, I'm just going to start being like, oh, you like this stuff I said to Matthew Gubler, like, oh, you saved my life. Like, that is what I'm trying to steer away from. But that's how I'm feeling. That is how I'm feeling right now. She is the reason that I wake up and get out of bed. The fact that she's still releasing books, I don't know what will happen when she's not. That's something to look forward to.
Yeah, 100%.
I
think
her.
I'm sold officially.
I love her so much. And that's all I'll say. This episode is dedicated to Sarah J. Maas. And that's it. Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope that was even like remotely entertaining at all. And I'll see you next week. Love you all. Goodbye.